For today's video, we are going to be talking a bit about winter trends. And by trends, I don't necessarily mean what we're seeing on the internet and social media, or even what the fashion industry is dictating. Instead, we're going to be focusing more on what is trending in my own personal world. And every season, I like to make a gigantic Pinterest board of things that are inspiring me, from photography to makeup to fashion and all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested in scrolling that, I will have it linked below. So either way, lots of inspo pics included today. And I thought it would just be fun and chill to scroll through it, chat to you all about it. So let's just get right into it. So pretty much every Christmas season without fail, I become very inspired by the concepts of gifts themselves. I love sequins, anything shiny and sparkly and glittery. I love ribbons and bows. I love satin and velvet and all kinds of fun textures. And there's just something about the art of present wrapping that really speaks to me. And I myself would like to look that way. So incorporating that present gift inspo into your look would include things like bows and ribbons, as I mentioned, any shiny, fun, sparkly material, comfy, cozy materials. But to me, there is nothing quite like a holiday look that includes some gigantic form of bow or like ornaments or even tinsel. Even things like giant rosettes and buttons can be really cute. And all in all, I think it's just like a fun concept to play around with when getting ready. And this can obviously extend to your hair and makeup. Hair accessories would be a really easy way to incorporate this, but your makeup is also another fun way. Like all you really need, is a fun pop of color on your lips or a shimmery eyeshadow. But when you combine all those things together, it creates this really glam, sparkly, luxe holiday kind of look that you really can only get away with wearing on the holidays. And so I like to lean into that, a bit of like cartoonish cutesiness every now and then. But there's something so fun about all the twinkly lights and colors, Christmas lights and garlands. I always feel so inspired by those kinds of things. And all around, I think winter is just a fun time to go really out there. Next time you're going to a party or something fancy and you don't know what to wear, consider dressing up like a present. I know at least I would appreciate it. So yeah, all around, I don't like when fashion is overly stiff and serious. Typically formal wear in winter can be a little boring. So I definitely lean in that direction of big, poofy, ridiculous silhouettes. I think winter and the holidays is a great time to get a little bit costumey with your look and just be a little bit more decadent, I think, than you normally are. It's fun once in a while, I think, to get very sparkly and all decadent and dressed up and whatnot. I also feel really inspired by the seasons themselves as we move through them. The trees, the sky, the temperature itself. Obviously, your environment impacts and influences what you wear a lot, and I often do find myself mimicking what the earth is doing in my looks or in my makeup. I love using snow as inspiration, all white makeup looks, all white outfits, fuzzy and fluffy clothes, even animals I take inspiration from, whether it is a graphic print or motif, faux fur, their actual hair and fur prints. I also think it's fun when the weather tends to be very monochrome, like the earth turns white or gray or blue or whatever, but to then contrast with that, so wearing cobalt blue or bright red, even more candy coated colors, which we'll get into next, just like seeing a blue jay in a snowy tree or something. Even though we're people living our lives, we're not necessarily in a movie or something. I still like to approach life from a cinematic perspective sometimes when I can. And I think it just looks so beautiful to see bold colors juxtaposed against snow. I love a nice contrast. So candy, as I just mentioned, obviously a huge thing this time of year. Candy, cookies, desserts, all sorts of sweets and sugary goods are consumed, made, whatever. So I think it's a fun time to incorporate that into your hair, beauty, outfits. Pastels can be really fun to play around with in the winter time. And I love bringing in sort of kitschy details like patchwork and crochet and knitted pieces. Winter is obviously a wonderful time of year to wear handmade goods, so scarves and hats, gloves, jackets, all kinds of things. But there is something particularly sweet, pun intended, about a bedazzled bag or a dress with lace and ribbon on it, little gems, really pretty textures. And that also extends to like the idea of ornaments, which also kind of ties into the present thing I was mentioning earlier. But I think it's fun to literally incorporate like Christmas decorations into your look. But little motifs like that I think are fun. Every winter I also get pulled into metallics, obviously. Ice and things like that tend to make me more attracted to it this time of year. Although generally, I typically appreciate a good metallic. There's something so wintry though about like a silver ballet flat and like a sparkly eye paired together. Snowflakes and hearts are cute motifs to incorporate. And I think really glamorous jewelry and nails are so fun this time of year. I usually just paint my nails myself. I don't really get them done. I've tried it. I have sensory issues, it's not for me. But I love looking at people's nails. But I think rather than like, a very traditional red nail or green nail, I think metallics are fun, as I mentioned. Blue is a great color to incorporate in winter. Even purples and pinks can be great. But I'm especially loving like little decals and gold pieces, like little floral bits on the nail. And all those dainty little details I think work well in jewelry too. It's a good time to pull out things like pearls, beading, fringe. I have been loving polka dots lately. I'm sure I'm being a little bit influenced by that. But I think the large kind of circusy ones have been really fun to see, and I would like to continue seeing more of that this winter. I still think pattern tights are going strong too. Those are also another, kind of trendy item that I just personally really like. Still very much into the bubble skirt thing. And of course, like anyone else, I've been breaking out my boots a lot. Winter is obviously the time for that. But I've also been really pulled into coats lately. Like I have a few light jackets, a decent jacket collection, but I have one winter coat. It's the only thing warm enough to wear outside, and I have had it for like 6 years, which is totally fine. I'm gonna continue to wear it. I will probably always have this coat, but it would be nice to maybe thrift or find an option that is just different than what I have. Currently, my coat is just like a large, fluffy, oversized one. So it would be cool to find something that is a tad more fitted, something that maybe closes a little bit better too. My coat just kind of drapes over me, so something that has a tie at the waist, more buttons, even a belt, that kind of thing. But ideally something that is equally stylish and warm. And speaking of warmth, I have been relying very, very heavily on my fleece tights lately. I moved this past summer in a climate that I've lived before, but it has been 4 years since I have had like an actual like serious winter. Where I used to live got cold, but it wasn't as cold as what I've grown up with. So yeah, winter is like honestly kicking my ass this year. I'm so fucking cold all the time. I mean, cutting my hair short probably didn't help, but not like I had much hair there to begin with anyways. I've been freezing, needless to say. And so obviously every season what trends with me is what is weather appropriate. So heavy coats, fleece tights, scarves, hats. So this year is all about keeping warm. Huge, huge on my priority list. So I feel like I've blabbed sufficiently. I hope you enjoyed this video and found some inspo for yourself. As always, I'd love to hear what is trending in your own personal worlds. And I hope everybody is enjoying their winter season so far, as much as you can anyways. There's a lot going on in the world. But take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!